Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back. It is Monday, September 30th. We're closing out the month positive here on the price of Bitcoin. Unless something crazy happens, it's going to be a positive September. In fact, it's going to be one of the best Septembers we've ever seen. And the growing sentiment was that September was supposed to be terrible. In fact, it looked that way when September started. I mean, if we go back and we take a look at the Bitcoin chart, guys, to start the month here in September. Actually, let's go to the monthly here on Bitcoin. You guys can see where we started the month, 59,000. We wicked all the way down in that first week of September down to 52.9. Started at around 59,000. First week of September, we were like, oh no, it's exactly what we thought would happen here. This is terrible. We're going to go down below 50K. Things are getting ugly. September's going to be brutal. And then, surprisingly enough, we had a big reversal. And currently sitting at a little over 64,000. We wicked all the way up over 66,000. So the question is why? Why did September end up being a positive month? Well, a few different reasons, obviously. You can see here kind of where we've been, man. We've been consolidating for a while. We are coiling up. This is the monthly chart on Bitcoin. Monthly chart on Bitcoin. All time. Okay. Things are looking very, very nice. So what happened? What changed this September compared to other Septembers? Well, we had a Fed pivot that we knew was kind of coming, but it ended up being a 50 basis point move. And I think that was really big for the overall market. It was very big for people's risk appetite. Retail money slowly starting to come back in, but institutions now betting big with these interest rate moves. We saw the same thing happen in China. We've got some news, out of Japan that they are planning to review its crypto rules. So we're getting a lot of this positive sentiment happening around crypto. Obviously, the ETFs and the inflows that we've constantly continue to see, that's been phenomenal too for the prices of crypto. And slowly but surely, altcoin season looks as if it's coming. We look at the top 50 cryptos performance over the last 90 days. We're starting to see more and more altcoins on the left side of Bitcoin here starting to outperform Bitcoin. IMX, SHIB, WIF, XLM, Stacks, Aptos, ICP. The big winners, Sui and Tau right now. Both up over 100% compared to Bitcoin in the last 90 days. So let's see who we got in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. We are getting ready for another week in the cryptocurrency world. Appreciate having everybody with us here this morning. It's good to see some familiar faces. Hopefully we get some new faces in here too. If you are brand new, let us know in the comment section. If it's your first time dropping in, I want to hear from you. And no matter what, hit that like button for us. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. We're very happy to have you in here. Look at this. China's former minister of finance calls crypto a crucial aspect of the digital economy. So China slowly but surely seems as if they are flipping on Bitcoin and crypto, hopefully for good. But the former minister called on Beijing to study the industry in light of Republican candidate Donald Trump's comments on crypto. He's saying that the government must recognize the risks and harm crypto poses, but the growing sentiment of the industry right now, with China's stock market going crazy after stimulating, we can take a look at that on the Kobayashi report. The sentiment here is that crypto is growing in popularity. And I can tell you this from, being in Asia recently, I mean, crypto is booming in that part of the world. So here's the breakdown of what's going on with China right now. The Kobayashi letter did a phenomenal job here. Check this out, guys. And this does impact us here in crypto. This is insane, it says. In the matter of days, China has gone from severe recession worries to posting its biggest daily stock market gain since 2008. There has been so much economic stimulus that brokerages are crashing due to high demand. What just happened in China? A thread. China's Shanghai Composite Index just soared over 8% today alone. This puts the index up over 20% in 5 days, more than double the average of the S&P 500 annual return, which, recently here, the S&P gives you about 11 to 13%. This would be like the S&P 500 going up from 5,000 to 6,000 in 1 week. Truly unprecedented. Meanwhile, the Beijing 50 index, similar to the Dow Jones industrial average in the U.S., soared 23% today. This marks the biggest daily gain in history for the index. Just days ago, China was concerned about deflation levels that are worse than 2008. So what happened? It says here, it all started last week when China flooded hundreds of billions of dollars of stimulus into their system. Just by cutting the bank reserve requirement by 50 basis points, over $140 billion worth of liquidity was added. China signaled that much more stimulus was coming. And the same thing is happening in the United States. So we'll continue on here with this in just a second, but this is my overall thoughts on all of this, right? They're certainly putting Band-Aids on the problem, and I think eventually we're going to get hit with some type of recession. You can't print the amount of money they did during those COVID years and get out of the woods completely unscathed. However, I think in the short term, with what we're seeing with the United States and China and these interest rates that are going to be cut, and probably 2 more 25 basis point cuts for the United States here in 2024, couple that with the election, regardless of what happens, you're going to have clarity in the markets, more clarity. And the markets, what one thing they don't like is uncertainty. And right now you have that with an upcoming election. Once we have certainty on that, we get 2 more interest rate cuts. Same thing here happens in China. I think we're going to be set for, a 6 to 12 month window where we can really take advantage of the crypto market and the stock market. So for those of you looking, relatively near short term, short term here, this is, I think, going to be a phenomenal opportunity. And I'm going to be looking to take my profits along the way, because I do think eventually toward the back half of this decade, things are going to have to get ugly, I think. They're going to have to get ugly. Because right now I think they're just putting a Band-Aid on the problem and they're kicking the can down the road. But that's okay. I mean, that's my sentiment. Who knows? I could be wrong. But it says here, today China announced it bought a whopping $28.5 billion worth of bonds from dealers in September. China's finance ministry also reported 6 ultra-long special sovereign bonds. Pandemic-like stimulus is being rolled out on a daily basis in an effort to recover the economy. In May, we saw the below headline as China's ETF saw massive outflows. Today, China's ETF market hits a record 3 trillion won, or 427 billion US dollars. China's ETF market is officially larger than ever as retail investors pile into stocks on the hopes of more stimulus. Even US markets are hitting new records on China's stimulus. We posted this alert for our premium members right as it began. This is coming from the Kobayashi letter. Since August 1st, our subscribers have been alerted with they're just kind of pitching their thing now. China's hope here is that stimulus, where'd that go? There we go. China's hope here is that stimulus will lead their economy out of deflation. However, to sustainably end deflation in their economy, something needs to change structurally. Stimulus has sparked a flame, but the fire has little fuel to grow. Since late 2022, it says China's consumer sentiment has been a major issue, largely due to deflation. Consumers are not confident in the economy, and short-term stimulus is unlikely to change that. China would need to conduct months or even years' worth of stimulus to recover. But this brings up the same question we faced in 2020. What happens if too much stimulus sparks a return of inflation? After all, central banks around the world are cutting rates like we are in a recession while calling for a soft landing. Could inflation return in 2025? It says here, we have been vocal about our view that the Fed does not need 50 basis point rate cuts. While markets like them now, we believe it will result in more volatility in the long run. This is only the beginning of the road of China's economic turnaround attempt. Like US markets, whatever China does to its economy is generally felt around the world. We are tracking this as it unfolds. So, Kobayashi Letter always has some interesting insights. That's why I wanted to share that thread with you. But there's no doubt that in the short term here, this is impacting the markets. It's the reason why crypto has been booming here over the last couple weeks. And, let's take full advantage of it. Let's also go into it eyes wide open, knowing that, they're putting a band-aid on the problem, that things are probably going to eventually take a turn for the worse. But if we can capture some profits in the short term, capitalize, these next 6 to 8 months, maybe even longer, before things potentially do turn south, well, then we could be sitting on cash. And when assets dip down, to premium levels, the rich get richer, right? And that's just how it works. Some people hate to admit it, or they don't like that the sound of that, but it just is what it is. It takes capital in bad times to produce more capital and to really increase your portfolio. It's those people who have cash in the worst of times that are able to invest. I mean, think about the crash in 2020. Those people who doubled down on Bitcoin, those people who doubled down on great companies, they made a killing. They absolutely crushed it. So who do we got here in the chat? We got a bunch of people. Shane's in the house, member here on the channel. Appreciate you, Shane. If you guys do want to buy me a coffee, you could become a member on the channel. That does help us out if you're interested in that. Neil's watching from the Philippines. What's up? Tim, what's going on, man? How we doing? I did get some nacho, Lone Wolf. Yeah, I've got a little bit. Getting ready to go to Vegas soon, guys. I always run into some people out in Vegas, so hopefully I get to run into some people out there in Las Vegas. Might even do like maybe a little meetup or something. That could be something we could do leading up to Vegas. Maybe meet up for some people for some drinks or something. If you guys are in the Vegas area, let me know in the chat. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that idea. Maybe meet up for a drink while I'm in Vegas. I'll be there October 10th. We're heading out. So, my dude, how was your weekend, man? Oh, it was great, man. How was yours? Can't complain at all. Just got back from Vegas. Nice, bro. Haven't looked at it yet. No. Shout out to those who watch this video on X. This thing has been crushing it for me. It's pinned up on my X right now. Talking about some XRP news yesterday with Ripple and India and them revolutionizing the oil industry. This really got some good play. So appreciate everybody for watching that one. And we are getting ready for the Crypto Breakfast Club. You guys know that we do this every Monday through Friday. So we're back today. We're going to be getting ready to start a new episode here in 1 minute. If you guys haven't followed the Crypto Breakfast Club over here on X, follow the main account. We've got a Telegram that's totally free with free alpha that you guys can get into. Just go to the Breakfast Club Telegram. There you go. You can hop right in here. 208 members in there. We're talking crypto all the time. So it's totally free to get in there. It's Summers. What's going on, man? Take a look at Hannah. Appreciate the $5 super chat too, man. Appreciate that. Hannah. What is this? What the heck is this, Summers? I will keep my eye on this. Thank you for putting it out there. Tons of volume. I have no idea what this is either. We're going to hit them up. I see what they're doing here. This is the famous dog behind SHIBA. Gotcha. Summer's very interesting. Astro's coming in from Australia. What's going on, man? True, what's happening? Steve, good morning. All right, we got to fire up the Breakfast Club here. So let's get that going here. We'll fire up the space here. Let's see. We're going to get off the Wi-Fi because spaces are weird with Wi-Fi these days. I don't know why. It always just works better without. All right, we're going to start it up, guys. So you guys can listen here live, obviously, to our chat that we do here every Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 11:30. So if you are live with us here on YouTube or X, you could stay right here. If you want to come over and join us on the actual X page, you can as well. You can come on over here and join us right on the X space itself. If you want to speak, obviously come on over and join us. But if you just want to listen in, we're right here. Let's get these co-hosts in here. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are here Monday morning, getting ready for another week in crypto as we close out September. A lot of thoughts going through my head here as we close out September. Some really positive things happened this month, and I was just talking on the live stream for you guys on the space here. We are live on YouTube and X. We've been live for about 15 minutes or so we got a bunch of people listening in. But definitely some thoughts. I want to start with today. When we started September, all the sentiment was that September's a bad month for crypto. We started at 59,000 and we dipped down to 53,000 right out of the gate. And everybody was like, yep, here comes September. September's a bad month. It always is. But then we look up today and we're getting ready to close September potentially up over $64,000, went as high as 66K. And some things flipped here this month. Some things changed. Some sentiments have flipped around. A lot of it has to do with, I think, interest rate cuts, a 50 basis point cut, both in the United States and in China, by the way. I think that's massive for the markets. And people are getting more risk on right now with crypto. I was just reading a thread that I thought was really, really fascinating by the Kobayashi letter. We did that on the live stream, just talking about China and their stock market boom here recently after, literally a couple weeks ago, recession fears, and now they're stimulating the economy. And all of a sudden, things are looking on the up and up. And I still have a sentiment, and we can get into this. We can get into this a little bit. I still have a sentiment that at some point in this decade, we're going to have to go through a hard reset or some type of big recession event. You just can't print the amount of money that was printed during COVID and get out of it unscathed. What's the stat? Something stupid like 70% of the money supply was printed in like a 3 or 4 year span. Regardless, though, here's the silver lining. This is just my opinion. Okay. It's not, I could be wrong. My opinion in here is, while the back half of this decade at some point could get ugly, I think we have a tremendous opportunity to make a lot of money right now. While they, stimulate the economy, they prop this thing up. I think the next 6 to 12 months, we have a huge opportunity. And then if we properly, this is my thinking. You could disagree. That's totally fine. My thinking is, though, taking a lot of profits on altcoins, sitting on cash. And then guess what? If the worst of times come, if a recession comes, guess who wins in a recession? People with money, people with capital, people who can, quote unquote, buy the dip. right? Think about 2020 when the world was ending and everything was going awry and stock markets were crashing. Crypto was crashing. The people who were able to come out of that and win big were the people with capital, right? And I'm looking at this very similarly down the line. And I'm not being negative Nancy or the bearer of bad news. I'm just looking at it holistically, just looking at it, just logically, right? They're putting a band-aid on the problem right now, both in China and the United States. And eventually you got to rip that band-aid off. And I think that day's coming at some point later on in this decade. But I think in the short term, like I mentioned, we can make a lot of money with altcoins. And altcoin season, I think, is right around the corner. It's slowly starting to happen. I'm taking a look at the top 50 performers, top 50 cryptos performance against Bitcoin in the last 90 days. We're starting to see more and more assets outperform Bitcoin. Right now, we've got, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 18 cryptos in the top 50, and this excludes stable coins, excludes asset-backed tokens. 18 of the top 50, so really it's probably 18 of the top 40 that are outperforming Bitcoin in the last 90 days. And weeks ago, we weren't even close to that. We only had about 2 or 3. So obviously you've seen what Tal's done, what Sui has done, say XRP, breaking loose a little bit here recently, getting up over 66 cents. But the moral of the story here is I think altcoin season is right upon us. I think it's a huge opportunity to make money. I'm looking at it as an opportunity to take a lot of profits, get back into less risky assets, and see what happens. See what happens as we roll into like Q2 of 2025. That's kind of my general take right now. In terms of altcoins at large, I mean, we'll get into what happened with SHIB. SHIB had a great run there, like leading the market for about 48 hours. BitTenzer Tau has been on an absolute freaking tear. Crossed over $600 this morning. It's in the top 25 now. Meme coins are certainly back up and running. Still some of the top leaders right now going against the grain here as Bitcoin's pulled back. We've got Bonk and Whiff, some of the Solana meme coins, Popcat up there all in the green. So we can get into it. A lot of different stories as well. There's some news out of Japan that they want to basically go heavier into crypto. All indications are that China is getting more crypto friendly as well. So these are good signs, generally speaking. And here's the thing: long term, I'm bullish as hell on crypto. So hopefully my words don't get twisted here. But I think at some point in this decade, we have to get a reset. We have to get a crash. It's just how it works. And some people will, oh, Zach, you're fudding my bags. No, I'm just, you hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst. And if you're prepared for the worst, how you do that is take advantage of this altcoin season, make a ton of money, sit on cash, get in less risky assets, and be ready to buy things at premium prices when things do crash. That's how you win. That's my opinion. You could agree to disagree, but let's bring in the co-host. Zach, what's going on, man? Good morning to you, brother.
How's it going? I'm a little under the weather.
Oh man,
I feel like crap, but yeah, it's crazy. Got it for my kids from school, but yeah, Saturday I took really good profits off of Nero. I sold my position. I put half into USDC and the other half into Bitcoin.
I think we lost you, brother. Zach, did we lose you?
I sold some stuff. So the reason I can do that, I feel, is the retail is not back, and I think it's going to take a little bit.
Zach, I think we're losing you, man. At least on my end, you're going in and out. Can anybody else hear Zach?
In a token or whatever. I got a little bit of that. So like a 20 million market cap right now. So yeah, I'm just doing some swing trading, really. Just normal trading, wait for the market to dip back down and get into a better position. So, yeah, just trading as I'm sick. So, kind of crazy. But yeah, overall, market's looking decent. Bitcoin's still 64 on that. Pays laugh at me because I'm half in the bag here on fucking Dayquil and NyQuil. So, but
no, I'm laughing at because you're fucking rugged here.
I slept mostly yesterday, so I would have been fucked if I kept that. Literally, I would have been down, had to wait, and couldn't make better plays. So, yeah, I'm just like you, Zach, man. Got to keep money on the side. You know, tomorrow could crash. Tomorrow could go to the moon. Who knows? But you got to keep money on the side for any kind of circumstances.
Yeah, Zach, you're rugging. That's why we were. Can you hear me, Zach? What's happening, man? Man, this didn't take long. I can't stand this shit. Yeah, you're rugging. Can you hear us?
That took all the energy out of me.
Do I hear crickets? Oh, fuck, I'm losing it.
I just removed him, and I'm going to invite him back up. That's annoying. Paid, what's going on?
Yo, nothing. I'm chilling. That's just mad funny to me. That shit, I was crying laughing just now. He's just fucking rambling. You're like, I can't hear you, and he's just still talking. Oh,
I don't know if he can hear any of us. That was weird.
That shit was mad funny. Can I even call him out? I was like, dude, we're laughing because you're rugged, and he just kept talking. It's like, bro. It's not his fault though. It's X. Blame X. No, I'm chilling. He's crying down there. Bring him back up before he fucking has a conniption. But no, I'm chilling, Zach. Good morning. Good morning to the room. Zach, I don't know if you saw my message in the Telegram. Guys, if you're not in the Telegram, what the fuck, dude? Join our Telegram. Come hang out. Go listen to Mar bitch about every project he's bullish on and then he's bearish on in the same day. Go see it. It's worth it. It's worth the laughs. You're going to get at least one laugh a day in our Telegram just from Mar because he's going to be like, oh, I love this project. Go check it out. And then the next day he'll be like, yo, I found something in the project. They're admitting something's wrong, blah, blah. So that alone is enough for your daily laughs in our Telegram. Mar, I love you. I'm actually making you something kind of funny, Mar. You'll see soon. But real quick, for gaming, guys, Zach, you talked about WAGMI Games. I talked about My Pet Hooligan and all these other ones. Superverse, guys, Superverse, I think, is the gaming crypto ETF of this cycle. Superverse has literally 15 games. I posted a video in the Telegram of all the projects that are in it, including one that Zach likes a lot, WAGMI, including one that I called out, My Pet Hooligan, that utilizes Carrot. So if you just want exposure to as many games as possible, Superverse, that's the alpha. You know, not financial advice, but they have the best Web3 games coming out on their platform or about to partnership or do integrations with their platform. The only one they don't have is Big Time, that Zach's has been calling out, but Alex Becker also called out Big Time as well. So definitely check out Big Time. I'm not in, I don't have a position, so I'm just getting that game. But Superverse, if Superverse partners with Big Time, you know, what the fuck? Superverse, I don't know what the ceiling is on Superverse's cycle, Zach. I really don't. I just watched yesterday. I didn't even know they had this, but it makes sense. Red Bull has his own esports gaming channel on YouTube. Has 500,000 subscribers. 500,000 subscribers for Red Bull Gaming, just video games, just playing. They're playing a Tekken tournament. I talk all the time. I play Tekken. I've been playing Tekken for 20 years. And I didn't even know they had this. And, you know, all it takes is one big partnership with Superverse, like a Red Bull Gaming or whatever, and Superverse is going to be $15. You won't be able to stop it. It's already at $1. All-time high is $5. I can see it 2x. So I can see it at 10. But if it gets a partnership with Red Bull Gaming, or it becomes a partner of League of Legends or any of these big gaming, ecosystems, you're gonna see a 15, maybe even a $20 Superverse. And I think that's very conservative. Imagine, Grand Theft Auto 5 or Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out and it says, hey, by the way, all the cosmetics are going to be using the Superverse fucking ecosystem. Oh, that's going to $1 million. That's going to $1 billion. I don't even know how much that token will be worth, because you guys know Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for over 10 years, and it's still one of the highest, grossing selling games and in-game purchase games of all time. and 6 is about to come out. If they partner with Superverse or, you know, any game similar to that, Superverse is going to the moon. I know you guys are sick of me hearing it, but I've been ringing this bell, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's going to take off this cycle. Zach, how are you?
Great, bro. No, I love it, man. I'm definitely eyeing Superverse. I've got a little position, opened up a small position on the dip, and then I'm looking to even add to it. So I like a lot of gaming plays right now. There's a lot to like in the gaming
Zach, did you
sector.
see that video? Did you see that video I posted? I actually might post it in the comments and put it up there. All the games are already on it as of right now.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Put it up on the Nest. I think I might have saw that. Did you post that in the was that in the TG?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I was adding it to the comments. Yeah, I posted in the TG, and that's what they have now. Who knows what's coming in the future, right? And like I said, if you have like that Red Bull gaming thing really woke up something in me because I was like, dude, I didn't even think of like Red Bull as, you know, having their own gaming sector. And I'm in the gaming world, right? But I didn't even think of that, and it makes sense. But it's crazy. I didn't think they had like 500,000, you know, people. They had a tournament yesterday for Tekken, like I said. I don't know what the grand prize is, but even say it was like 20K, like that's good money trying to be a pro gamer. And if Superverse can partner with any of these really big, massive game studios or even energy drink like Red Bull or whatever, I'm telling you, Superverse is going to be so stupid this cycle. It's going to be silly. It's going to be a silly, stupid, silly goose time. That's what I'm going to say, Zach.
Yeah, you know, we're getting ready for October, right? Or October. Q4. Q4 starts tomorrow, guys. Q4. And usually Q1, Q4 are the money-making quarters. So, couple things to break down here. 80% of Octobers since Bitcoin's been around since 2009, 80% of Octobers have gone green. It is the best month for Bitcoin, historically speaking. We're probably going to get out of September up 7%, give or take, on Bitcoin, which is phenomenal. Nobody really saw that coming. 100% of election years had a green October. 100% of election years had a green November. 100% of election years had a green December. So think about that. In election years, these 3 months have been green all the time. Now, that could scare you, or it could say, hey, the trend is your friend, right? And if history plays out again, then we're looking at 3 really good months here. 100% of the years with a green September had a green October, November, and December as well. So anytime we've had a green September, 100% of the time we were green in October, November, and December. Think about that. I just posted this up there.
Zach, that's super, super bullish, but it's also kind of interesting because this is the first time we did this without retail. Retail's still not here, right? Like,
yeah, it's weird, right? Because I wasn't here in 2017, but from the sounds of it, well, let's just call it what it is. Back in 2017, we had very little retail. We still have very little retail. But 2017, we had very, 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 very little retail. But 2017, from my like listening to people who were around, that was very institutionally driven. 2021 was very retail driven. You know, and this go around, it's been mostly institutionally driven with the ETFs. But I do think retail slowly but surely coming around, and I think that's why people are really excited about where we are right now. Because yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's up here at 64K, and nobody really cares. You know, Bitcoin went up earlier this year, set a new all-time high. Nobody really was here. Nobody was screaming from the mountaintops. So, you know, if we get that institutional and retail demand to meet and collide, yeah, I mean, things can get crazy here, for sure. So let's
yeah,
go ahead, Paige.
Zach, real quick. We haven't talked about them in a little while, but Monka S, bro, have you seen that chart?
Starting to reverse a little bit. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I did. Starting to reverse a little bit nicely. I think Zach, when he was getting rugged, he was talking about this HANA, right? HANA. Zach, give me a thumbs up if that's the one you were talking about. That thing's exploding.
Yeah, Zach didn't do anything. I don't think Zach can hear us.
HANA is the name of the dog behind the famous meme coin Shiba Inu. So it's playing on this whole thing. Yeah, okay. It's exploding right now. I mean, I missed it. I'm not touching it right now. I'm gonna wait for a pullback, but that means it'll probably go from 21 million to 100 million while I wait for the pullback.
Yeah, but Zach, stay out of every project I'm trying to be in, please. Thank you.
It's just, but honestly, for a learning lesson, like I here's the thing, guys. I just don't chase this stuff. If I miss it, I miss it. If it comes back down and I see it consolidate and I can get it at a premium price, I do. But like generally speaking here, this is how you don't get wrecked. Don't go buy HANA right now. And I could be wrong. Not financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, Zach,
but you just don't buy tops of the charts when it starts going. Like you just, if you can avoid doing this, you're going to reduce the amount of times you get wrecked.
Yeah, Zach, one of the derivatives of Moondang, and I called this on the Telegram, it went from when I called it around 2 million to 8 million, right? But it only launched like a week before, and it was at 64K. So like, there's people that were in there that haven't sold anything. That once you ape in at 8 million, they're dumping. You know, if not even earlier. It's still a good play in my opinion, but like if something has gone up from 64K to 8 million, probably not the time to get in. Probably not. You know, you might be able to catch it on the way up a little bit if you get in, you know, around like 900,000, 1 million, 2 million. But once it hits 8, that's just going to have to cool off because people are in crazy profits. You know, even from 1 million to 8 million, that's an 8x. You know.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's just you can't dodge bullets forever when you're chasing green candles. I'm telling you guys, just don't do it. Just wait, and there's always another one. There, you know, when something's up significantly, there's something that's down. That's a great buy, right? Maybe it's something in the gaming sphere, like we just talked about. There's always an opportunity. So don't feel like you have to go chase something. When you get, they have the same principle in gambling, right? You put $100 in a slot machine, you lose it. Well, now you go put 200 in the next one. It's called chasing, right? Like, and it's just the fastest way to get wrecked. When you're looking, especially with meme coins, right? So just if it comes back down to your price level that you like and you still like the project, and then make a play. If it doesn't, find something else. I recently had 2 trades close thanks to that XRP pop up to 66 cents. I was pumped about that. Had 2 leverage positions open. I opened up some small leverage positions. I don't do a ton of leverage trading, but I do like it. But I had a 20x long on XRP at like 56 cents, and it closed at 66. Loved it. So off to a good start Monday. Loving that, and had another small XRP position close as well at like 65 cents. So I like trading XRP on leverage because it's not very volatile. You can really kind of like understand the channels that it trades in. So I like trading XRP quite a bit on leverage. Got a couple open positions right now still. I got a 5x long on XRP that I took at 58 cents. And yeah, 5x long there. And then I got a 5x long on Caspa right now that I opened at 17 cents. So I'm a little down on that, but it's still open. I won't get liquidated on that unless Caspa dips down below 14 cents. But if you guys are interested on the leverage trading side, I do have a good partnership going on with Margex. I've been with them for about 6 or 7 months now. Shout out to them too. They put me up in a house in Dubai and in Singapore. So shout out to Margex leverage trading platform. If you guys are interested in that, it's in my profile. Let's get over to Andrew. Andrew, what's going on, man? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, man. Fun combo is always on here, man. I took the weekend off crypto to play some poker, but now I'm back in it, looking at the charts, digesting everything you guys are saying. You know, as far as the altcoins go and like altcoin season, I've been somebody that said, like, you know, over and over again, like, you know, we got to see all-time highs on multiple altcoins, and you know, we've seen it on BNB, but I want to see it across the board. But I truly think we're finally getting close there, and I think BNB is a good buy right now. Looking at some charts this morning, obviously NFA, but It's getting a nice solid pullback. And then even with the news of, CZ getting released last weekend, that is something that I think could even spark altcoin season in itself. So like, I'm with you there that I think that, we're on the precipice of altcoin season. Now, as far as like looking to take profits, I don't know if I can get on that. Obviously I'm a profit maxi, man. Like I trade, take profits on your trades, this and that. But like, I'm talking like conviction bags. I'm really not looking to take profits anytime soon. Like, if the bull run's over in January, February, I'm willing to go down with the ship at this point in time, unless I see something that alters my mindset. But in reality, on my conviction bags, I'm not looking to take any profits till Bitcoin gets to around like 140K. And obviously, I can always deviate based on what happens in the world and all that good stuff. But I'm risk on, really, really risk on right now. So like that's where I'm looking to stay and trend for the next couple of months. And never forget, I'm going to remind everybody every time I speak in here, I was one of the only ones on CryptoX telling you guys September is going to finish positive. And I'm not saying that just to brag today, but the reason I'm saying that is the reason I believe that we are going to get a positive September this time around, even though historically we finished negative, is we are actually getting more mainstream adoption. And you're hearing about Bitcoin and crypto other places. I was out at lunch with my aunts who are like 70s, and they don't know anything about crypto. And like, whenever I meet their friends, like, explain what you do. And I just tell them I trade Bitcoin, just so like everybody knows what Bitcoin is and I can keep it simple for them. And my aunt's like, yeah, Andrew knows all about it. All I know is Bitcoin is the blockchain, and I know there's other blockchains. And that's all she knows. Like, I was shocked she knew what a blockchain was. But like, my 70-year-old aunt heard somewhere that Bitcoin is a blockchain, because I've never told her how the mechanics of Bitcoin. So that means she's hearing it on mainstream TV somewhere, mainstream radio somewhere. So I truly believe that retail may not be here in the capacity that we would expect yet, but retail's here in some capacity, man. If we're getting inflows from these ETFs, that's really retail money flowing in through somebody else's hands. So I think these people are paying attention, and so. All that being said, I do think we're also heating up for gaming. I think that's going to be probably the spring of next year, by spring of next year, right? It's hard to predict what happens in the market like that, but you're going to see some gaming project just nail it, and it's going to be something that just makes sense. It's fun. Normies start playing it, and then there's going to be a lot of replication and people trying to do it. But I do think you guys are right. If there's some good, gaming projects you like, this is probably the time to start building some conviction bags there too. But just my opinions, man. I always love the combo here, and you guys always keep me sharp.
Appreciate it, brother. No, I definitely, we appreciate you too, man. Bringing great insights, as always. So always welcome here. That's for sure. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because on one hand, I can see this altcoin market going all the way throughout 2025. And maybe there's a couple waves, like maybe we get a nice Q1 and then it gets boring and then it comes back in Q4. I'm just looking at a lot of the things that I held back from 2021. If we get back up to certain levels, which I have those kind of, laid out, like, some of my long positions like Cardano and things like that. I just want to get some of that off the table and get it back into less risky assets. But yeah, something brand new, like, we're talking about Superverse or Big Time or some of these gaming plays, especially because I'm up on these, a little bit more willing to kind of see what happens and watch it play out. So I think it does depend on kind of, which assets you're talking about, how long you want to wait and things like that. But let's get over to Mar, get his thoughts. I'm sure he's always got some thoughts. Real quick too, guys, share the room if you haven't already. We got 65 people with us, about 500 plus listening live on YouTube and X. So shout out to everybody listening live. But if you guys could share the room here and definitely come on up and speak too if you got something for us. Mar, what's going on, man? Good morning.
Hey, Zach, man. Good morning. Good morning to everyone except for Paid and Motasco. I hope everyone is having a great day. But yeah, man, no, the market, it's I see.
Wait, Mar. What do you mean except the Paid and Motasco? What is that?
Yeah, like except
The
like,
only two black guys here, and that's what we're saying, Mar. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing, Mar?
Well,
Yeah, I'm black. I'm just a dog.
have you seen Mutasco? Mutasco's not black. Mutasco looks like a tiger. What's his name? A tiger. Whatever, the golfer guy, Tiger Woods. He looks
This
like
guy,
Tiger Woods.
and this is why everyone needs to join the Telegram, because fucking Mar doesn't even know who Tiger Woods is. What the fuck?
The golfer, the fuck. But listen, just to say, yeah, the market is looking good. I know that some of you jumped into a trade with the owning around 50 mil, you know. Listen, for me, this is a long-term hold, but fuck it. You know, sometimes you gotta add more tokens for free, you know. So I saw the FUD. People were pissed because it was supposed to add like I think 25% more coins, and now they want another 9%, and they did a voting, and the community voted like 98% yes. I mean, I find that astounding, but whatever. And I said, fuck this. This is going to bring some FUD. Why not sell and rebuy again? And I did. I sold like a 1.1 penny, and I rebought again like a 0.86. So I made an extra like 20% more of my coins on that trade. Because at the end, I'm holding it long term. You guys got to look for this FUD. I mean, Telegram. That's why Telegram is a great tool also. It will show you when people are, the community are mad. And a lot of those people just are looking for a better entry because they know what's up. But one thing I do wanted to say, you know, is whatever project you're in, because we always see projects, big announcement, new partnership. And when you look at the partnership, you don't even know who the fuck the partnership is. It's just another project in the crypto space that's dying to also find a partnership. So the one that you know you're going to make money on is projects that are working hard. You know, I'm involved in a lot of high risk, high reward projects that this team, they don't stop, you know, and those are the ones that you want to hear the big partnership announcement, like a partnership with, I'm going to go beyond just so you can understand it, like Google, you know, a partnership with Apple. I mean, that's just insane, but that is the one, you know, investment that when you hear a huge partnership with BlackRock, whatever the hell it is, and that's what I'm waiting for in crypto. I want to start hearing these projects getting partnerships with big time companies. And look where I'm heading to, okay? Saturday, it was Saturday. I was in a space. Mutasco was in that space. I cannot believe Mutasco was in that space listening to this crap. And he knows where I'm heading to. This guy, what's his name? Matt Reeve Clarks, whatever his name is. John Reed Stark. This motherfucker. And also, he had a co-host of this woman that was a freaking clown. I was in there for like 40 minutes. I couldn't even take it anymore. Just talking negative about the blockchain. Like negative, everything. And then the woman comes up and she's like, yeah, because blockchain has no security. They're not safe. Like, they could be hackable. I'm like, look at this clown. Like, everything is hackable. Everything. Anything that's on the web, that's on PC, it's hackable. People have hacked into the SEC. People have hacked into the FBI. Everything is hackable. Nothing is 100% secure, you know? And this guy's just talking negative for 4 hours. I wasn't in there for 4 hours. This space went on for 4 hours, you know? And I got to hear Mutasco. How in the world was he in there listening to this clown talking about, no, because I got kids coming to me and they want to learn about the blockchain and they ask me about it. I tell them, no, that's just crap. And I actually asked, because I studied a little psychology. I wanted to go up there and talk to the man for at least a minute. Because at the end of the space, I realized that motherfucker, okay, basically ran that space and he talked shit about the blockchain and all that. But when you spend 4 hours on a space giving your audience, yeah, you want to get, you know, people in there. He had I think 500 people in there listening to this clown. He is in there, guys, to see if he gets convinced and he finally gets in the blockchain because he knows these people follow the money and they know there's money to be made in crypto. And by the way, not only did he talk bad about crypto, because I'll accept crypto. He was talking shit about blockchain technology. What the blockchain could do is bullshit. None of these blockchain crypto projects also have any partnerships with any companies whatsoever. The government, none of these companies are using blockchain technology. I mean, this guy and his bullshit. This guy was in there just to see. He saw the audience, and these motherfuckers, they follow the money. And he's in there to finally accept that he's going to put money into this space. I'm telling you, that clown was he uses that space, he uses all of us to say, okay, you know what, it's time. And he knows it. He knows it. And the reason he gave himself an opportunity to go in there twice, he's done this, I think, like twice, is because he saw BlackRock get into blockchain and crypto, you know? And it's just the space. Just I just can't imagine. I hope Motasco was not there for 4 hours. I can't imagine someone in there listening to this clown for 4 hours. And that is the only reason I wanted to go up there and tell him, dude, let me tell you, I'm not going to talk about blockchain. The only reason you're running this space is because you're trying to find a reason to you're actually thinking about it already. You cannot even believe that you want to get in if you're not in already, you know? But yeah, it was I was like, what? And I went into the space because a lot of you guys were there, you know? So, you know, it always shows me, oh, look, these guys are in the space. And like, I thought it was going to be an awesome space. And I think Autumn 23 was there. I don't know what he thinks about that dude, but it was a freaking clown. And it's sad because in that space, there were probably people that were thinking about getting into the blockchain and crypto, and he probably changed their minds, you know? And that sucks. That fucking sucks. And this is why, you know, we're struggling. You know, we're struggling because of guys like this. I know the guy worked for the SEC. He's had big positions in the government. He speaks to FBIs, you know, all the clowns too, you know. But yeah, don't let the whole point of this. Don't let a guy like this or any other guy destroy, you know, your whatever you're thinking or your plans. Don't let them. Don't let just one person, you know, destroy your plans. It's a lot of money to be made here. It hasn't even been made yet. Listen to this. It hasn't even made. This thing is going to 20, 30 trillion. Either he likes it or not. And that clown is looking. He goes with the money. He follows the money, you know. And I'm telling you, just don't listen to a clown like this. Don't let him change your mind with blockchain technology. I'm not even going to talk about crypto, blockchain technology. I'll land the plane with that. Motasco, please, I can't wait to hear from you. What do you think of this fucking clown?
Yo, just real quick, I just started a new drinking game. Every time Mars says clown, take a shot. Guess what? You're dead.
Here comes Butasco too. We'll get over to him here in just a minute. And we got some other speakers up here though. Real quick though on Mars' point, I think point taken, man. I mean, because you know, I always say this: you can listen to everybody, but you don't have to agree with everybody. You can listen. You know what I mean? And, but yeah, be very careful to who you take advice from, and you know, make sure you form your own decisions. You know, in this space for sure. All right, let me go up to Mutasco here because I think he wants to speak on that exact point, and then I will get down to Matt. I see Matt down there, and Wood. I'll get down to you too, and anybody else who wants to come up, please join us here on Monday morning. Here we're kicking off your week here in the crypto world. Appreciate everybody being here. Share the room if you haven't already. Mutasco, what's up, man? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. No, I was on that space. I want you to know, I know this guy for a very long time. Okay. When I say long time in crypto, it means 2021, thereabout. Not once. You know me, I like to do digging a lot. Not a single publication from this guy. By the way, this is the same guy that has served the SEC for 40 years or whatever he calls himself that he does. And his best friend actually is Anthony Sacramucci. This is one thing I'll tell you. I know most of you here know a lot of really smart people, right? One of my gauge on people is when they show you who they are, you also cannot know people without actually interacting with them, right? Because then it goes into this ridiculous stage of like, yeah, you're just having, oh yeah, somebody's from Asia. Oh yeah, you're just gonna have like some misconception about the person without actually being there or understanding what the culture is there. I did put a response, I tagged you. He's actually the reason I did that. And in his space, I actually tagged him because he also said he had Maxine Waters. And I wasn't surprised because Maxine is so against crypto and just flipped recently for whatever reason. Who knows? The way these people flip is, let me give you an example. I think it was Muhammad Ali that said this once. He said, if you are a maid in a rich house and you've been working there for 5 years or 10 years or whatever he tried to say, and every time you clean the house, you do everything in the house for the family, but not once have they invited you to sit at the family dinner table, okay? And the reason he made this response was somebody asked him, Muhammad Ali, would you ever run for president? Would you ever consider running for president? And he said this, and I will never forget it because it kind of stood out of my mind. He said, he said, if you work for a rich family and you're a cleaner or whatever, and then they never, when you cook their food, you do everything, right? But then you take your food and you go to the basement to eat. And then one day, they say, oh, Ma, come on here and sit at the dinner table with us. Would you sit at the table and eat with them? You wouldn't. And I think these politicians, when they flip, right, we have to take it for what it is. But what we have to do is also to stick with our conviction. Each of us here in crypto, we have conviction. If you don't have conviction, I don't think you'd be hanging out here because this market can get you really wild up. Don't take that guy seriously is what I would say. The thing you also have to understand is the guy that was co-hosting with him, he was talking about, crypto scams. But here's one thing you have to learn about what he said. And I had to listen to it because I don't like getting messages from messengers. I follow people that are critics, even in the Ethereum ecosystem. There are people who have flipped out and they were really hardcore Ethereum guys, right? These are smart people. And I listen to them. I listen to them on Bankless podcasts. I listen to them I follow them. I watch their threads. I read because I'm trying to get, why is this person thinking the way he's thinking, right? So this guy had somebody who was a co-host, right? By the way, the person was talking about offering a service. By the way, John also has a website. He likes to say, I don't care for this. I don't need to be paid. No, I've dug deeper into this guy. And I saw on his website, and if I get these threads, I'll post them here so everybody can go read it. Maybe I'll send it to you so you can, if you want to read, you can go read it. But I know you don't like to read. I'm trying to summarize what I know about this guy just to make a point. And the point is this: I don't care, okay? And the reason I said that is because I know Bitcoin, and that's why I did the thread, okay? I just kind of put screenshots of 2017, 16 billion, 2024, 1.3 trillion. I don't care what you say, okay? If you're a fool, go ahead and be a fool. If you're smart and you think this is a big deal, go ahead and participate. But I'm not going to debate with you as to whether blockchain is this or that. In fact, the guy is asked, he has really a very, and I don't know, it's funny because some of these people come out, they praise him up, and then he laughs at them, right? There's a guy that came up and he was very, very objective, right? He went around, he explained his background, everything. And then he made really good points. And the guy said, I still don't believe it. You should go read my whatever. He wants you to go read what he has to say that is negative about crypto. What he's ignoring is that he also said, I'm willing to change my mind. Well, no, you're not willing to change your mind. So this is the type of people you call spin experts, right? They use their expertise to get you to believe them, right? That is, if you don't know how to do research, then because you worked for the SEC for 40 years or whatever he did. I've said this before. I said, for 40 years, if you've been prosecuting people, what impact have you added to the economy? Okay, if that is your core job, okay, your job is to prosecute people. In fact, this guy is talking, he has been on Mario Spaces many times. I mean, he has been on every time with this Ripple thing. When the case came down and it was in favor of crypto, he was nowhere to be found, okay? Whenever the other Rickoff or whatever that judge is in New York, when he came up with his jab against crypto, the next day the guy was on Twitter Spaces, okay? So there are some people, I don't know whether he gets paid by somebody or I'm not going to say because I don't know. I don't have the information. But I've watched this guy many, 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 many times, okay? And one of the things that I was going to come up the mic to ask him, I had my kids were busy and I was just listening in. I literally was going to ask him one simple question. He said, Maxine Waters. And I said, I was going to come up and say, okay, did you see, because I tagged him. They don't like proof. They don't like facts. These are people who like to they want to push their agenda in your face. And they don't want you to have an alternative view, right? But at this point in time, you don't need facts. The numbers show for themselves. Crypto is moving on. Who cares what you think about crypto, whether blockchain is real or not? Okay, I work in supply chain. And here's what he said that was also incorrect. He said he has all these experts that understand Oracle and blah, 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 IBM and all that. He used that example. And it was so dumb that, okay, because he has some experience, he's expert, people that don't know the other side would think, oh yeah, he's right. Because these guys he's quoting as experts in their field. I work in supply chain. Let me tell you one thing. I have talked to people, I've attended conferences where people have told me, and this is from Amazon. Look at Amazon, Walmart, and Target, and all of the big e-commerce platforms, right? Since COVID, and if I get this information, I'll pull that because I don't like saying things without backing it up. There is what we call you have companies that are like, you tell them why are you not adopting the blockchain? They're like, oh no, we have our own enterprise, whatever level protocol that runs. They have data centers, the fees, and they're like, okay, cool. Now, why do you think the blockchain is not relevant here? They can't give you any answer, right? They can't. You ask people about, so in supply chain, we do a lot of prediction, right? And forecasting and all of that, right? And so when you ask somebody, why are you not adopting AI? They tell you, no, we have our own predictive analytics platform. I'm like, okay, predictive analytics platform today only is based on historical data. But AI today is dynamic. There's a lot of things there. But when you have somebody like John host a space and over 2,000 people listening, and then because he's an expert in some field, he likes to quote other people, and then he says something like, the blockchain is a joke. You should not take anybody like that seriously, okay? Because before you say that, go do your research and then come back and debunk them, okay? Everything that he said there is not new. The guy repeats the same thing over and over and over again. Since I've known this guy and followed him on Twitter, I follow him on LinkedIn. I follow him on several places, and I read his content. In fact, I'm very generous because I actually read his nonsense. And what I see in his nonsense is a good example of somebody who digs in their heels and they're like, This is what I know. That's what we see in the face of Gary. Even Gary Gensler, if facts are put in front of him, he still dig his heels, right? These are people that are very dangerous, okay? These are the most dangerous people that you should actually be hanging out with. And there are people that, I'll say this and I'll shut up. I love hearing the other side, okay? Because this space is crazy. So when you find me in other spaces and I'm listening to some crazy people, there's a reason I do that. Because I like to actually double down on my conviction because of this stupidity, okay? And you can go read my thread and see the numbers. I didn't make the numbers up, okay? Some people, and then you look at the data, if you've been in crypto, you can agree with me that we're way gone, okay? Nobody is going to stop crypto. Nobody's going to stop blockchain. None of that. So for these jokers, by the way, they were trying to sell people how to get not scammed. And in the process of explaining how to not get scammed, he said, we're looking at the threshold. If it's $1 million and above, we'll take the case. So you're trying to say you're crying for investors that are vulnerable. And by the way, most of these vulnerable investors don't have $1 million to spend. So if your job is to protect investors, you're speaking against blockchain because there's a lot of scams, yet your product that you're selling is exclusive because you will only take a case if that case is above $1 million. That's a problem right there. He also went and contradicted himself by saying that sometimes it's speed. You have to get the information to me as quick as possible. Otherwise, it's gone. I'm like, oh my gosh, the Indian exchange problem, the Alex Go hack. Go look at all the hacks that happen in crypto. The speed at which these things happen. So your solution, you can only sell this package that you're selling to people that don't know what they're doing. Okay, so these are people that are like, they entertain me, okay, because I listen to them. I try to get that view just so that I'm rooted in my conviction on crypto. I don't care who you are, and this is not disrespect to anybody. I've been in these spaces for a long time, and I've heard a lot of nonsense. So sometimes I come across as like, it comes from the experience that I've gone through, right? I've seen a lot of bullshit in this space. And this is why sometimes when I'm speaking this way, I get really, really feisty because these people really get it under my skin, right? Because they're lying to people. They're not being honest, and nobody checks them because everybody that hangs out with them supports them. They say, yeah, you're right. What is he right about? They can't even explain, right? And they let these people go on and on and on. Thank God I hung out here and I learned. Thank God nobody is going to fool me that blockchain is a scam. Good luck following those people. But I always hang out and I listen to them. So again, Amar, I'm glad you jumped on that space to listen. This is not new to me. I've listened to the guy forever. So, and there's nothing new that he sells. Nothing. And you have to be wary of people like that. And there are many of them in these spaces. Just stay with your conviction, and I'm sure you're not somebody that can get shaken out, and you would never regret it. This is a great experience for everyone, and I'm always going to say this because of these people and people like what you just heard me talk about. But you're going to be fine. Zach, take the mic. Again, I'm not somebody who's against anybody. I'm just against people who are manipulative, right? That's it.
I wasn't on that space, but it sounds like this person's kind of like a Peter Schiff type character, where despite all the evidence that you can put in front of him, he's still going to continue to push his narrative. And a lot of times, people get rich, famous, or all the above just having this same narrative. And so now they've backed themselves in a corner where they might not even believe what they're saying, but they have to keep saying what they've said all along because they've created this persona, they've created this image, they've created this thing. And that's where I think, speaking of Peter Schiff, I mean, you could say what you want about gold, and it's a strong asset, it's a good asset, but I mean, there's been many times where I've seen him up against people who've just laid it out there, and he has no rebuttal, but he always just falls back on, Bitcoin's a scam and blah blah blah, and it's like you're not even addressing what's been asked. It's, you know what I mean? It sounds like this is a similar situation, right? Like, despite Bitcoin being the best performing asset since 2009, gold's better. Despite Bitcoin outperforming gold year over year for 12 years, gold's better. Despite, all of the data, when you talk to people who are 40 years and younger and what they're investing in, it's an overwhelming Bitcoin response. Yeah, gold's better. Like, so it's just like, you can't tell them anything, right? So it sounds like this is kind of a person you're dealing with over there too, but who knows what the motives really are? Who knows what, what's really going on? So I keep that in mind too. But let's see here. We've got Matt up here. We haven't heard from him. And then Wood's been waiting. I see we got Kova up here in clutch as well. Matt, good morning to you, man. What's happening?
And make sure you guys all sharing the space before you speak. Thank you.
Yeah, it's done. I share it all the time. And then, but good morning, Zach, Paid, Zach, Mar, Mutasco, everybody that's a regular. And so I was doing a little bit more research, aka watching YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? And Alex Becker is so bullish on gaming that I mean, I love hearing Paid talk about it right away, because I have never been bullish on gaming. That's not my generation, right? Like, I'm first generation Call of Duty in 2004, and like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. But gaming, yes. And I like so like last night and this morning, I was kind of having this epiphany where I'm thinking, why am I not in gaming? Because clearly there's a lot of money to be made there, and everybody's glued to their phones anyways. So if they're not on a dating app, they're on a gaming app. And I'm just thinking, well, holy shit, I better get into some games. So then I went back. I watched Alex Becker's video again this morning for the second time, because I wanted to get that list he put out, right? And yeah, like Superverse obviously mentioned on there, he's really bullish on that one. But he mentioned a sleeper called Mocha. And I aped into Mocha because it had a smaller market cap. It's like 130 million, I think, or something like that when I got into it. Or no, yeah, 130 million. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, games, yes, totally. So if Alex Becker's bullish on gaming, and I give credit where credit's due, I better jump on that bandwagon, because even though I'm not into gaming, I'm into crypto. And obviously the two they're symbiont with each other, right? They feed off each other. So the amount of stuff you can write on a crypto coin and how everything's tied together in the future is very clearly going to be in cryptocurrency. I aped into gaming. I aped into Mocha. And I was going to do Superverse, but that market cap's a little high for me right now. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to 10x. But Mocha's at 130 million. That's got, that could 20x, 30x. So that was my reasoning behind that one. But the other one was, and then I watched Da Vinci Jeremy. So, like, because these guys are clearly, like, out of my league for crypto, right? And, but Da Vinci Jeremy, on a couple of his videos, he finally mentioned, like, real world assets. And I'm thinking, like, wow, so this guy's finally getting on board with other things than Bitcoin? Holy crap, that's amazing. So I did a little bit more research, YouTube videos on real world assets, and come to find out that, man, when they turn the buying machines on for real world asset coins, I mean, it's going to be turned on. And Da Vinci Jeremy kind of hinted, now he didn't directly say this, but he hinted it. And I strongly suggest go watch those videos, the newest ones from Da Vinci and Becker. But Da Vinci really hinted at tokenization, real world assets having the biggest run of this bull run. So he's kind of, he didn't say it because obviously he's the number one proponent for Bitcoin. excuse me, but he did mention, hey man, I mean, these look like they're going to be winners too. And that's all I had to hear. So the altcoin season, when this thing turns on, man, like, is there a reason not to be bullish about anything? I don't think there is, because everybody, all the influencers now that I watch anyways, they're not mentioning anything about any type of pullback. Zach Humphries, you mentioned, the host, you mentioned about how the presidential election years are like cyclic for bull runs, for, you know, green October, November, December. I mean, all the evidence we have presented to us, all the evidence we can get on our own in research, all the charts, all the graphs, everything from history is pointing to get positioned right now or you're going to miss it. And I'm standing on that. And I've been calling this the whole time. I'm like, look, dude, this is election year. This thing's got to take off. It just has to. And I'm not going to mention anything about like the 2030 agenda. But remember, Larry Fink's on the WEF board. So he's a World Economic Forum guy. And what did he jump on board finally? Bitcoin, tokenization. I mean, this thing is going to go. And we definitely want to be in on it. And the alpha we're getting from these spaces, I would have never got into a gaming coin had I not heard about it from the three, the host and the two co-hosts, from the three main characters here in the spaces. So kudos. Thank you guys for staying on it and being so bullish on these gaming coins, because I'm older. So when I hear gaming, I'm immediately turned off. But hearing it over and over again, I'm thinking now, damn, I got to get on this because I am not missing out on this boat. I'm going to mute, but thank you guys. Thank you for the spaces.
No, it's good.
Matt.
Yeah,
Matt, one second. Matt, I really do love that. And just for the room, just so you guys know how big gaming is, I don't give a fuck if you like video games or not. If you like money, you need to pay attention to gaming this cycle. Gaming, as of, 2022, was a $347 billion a year industry. That was 2 years ago. Those numbers haven't been updated since, but it's probably only going higher, more than likely. Now think about that. Even if you get 10% of that into gaming crypto, flood over one way or another, the gaming market is going to explode. You're so early because gaming has been beaten down so crazily this cycle. It hasn't even moved yet. Super is just moving. And they're kind of like the first one to move right now for gaming, in my opinion. But there's a whole bunch of other ones, and they're just beaten down. And if you don't want to get into specific projects, you can also, one that Mar loves a lot is AVAX. There's so many games being built on AVAX right now. So, even if you want to be a little less risky, AVAX, they're top 100, top 50. Look at AVAX. I mean, look at what they're building in there. It's all the gaming companies, not all of them, but much of the gaming companies are there. Gaming, $347 billion a year, guys. You cannot ignore this industry. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't. They probably make as much as cars, if not more. They're getting close. They're getting fucking close. I'll tell you that. You're talking about the 3x, a little less than 3x away from $1 trillion industry. Come on, guys, you can't sleep on it. I'm sorry, you can't.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a sector that is starting to wake up a little bit. It's been depressed for a while. It's a sector that boomed in 2021, and it goes back to the bigger point that we've made before, right, guys? It's the fact that everything right now in crypto is speculative. Everything. So follow the hot narratives, right? Follow the things that are being talked about the most, and you can make money. Don't overthink this. Like Matt said, RWA. Yeah, it's a hot button area. It's a hot topic. Gaming has continued to be, I think, a hot narrative. AI cryptos. I mean, it's not going away. These narratives aren't going away. So just follow what's going on in terms of the big conversations, the Larry Finks of the world. What are these people saying, right? You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. Just listen to smart people and make similar decisions, And this is the most fun times for crypto and the altcoin market and altcoin season, because this is where things go up parabolically, sometimes for no freaking reason other than it's a hot narrative. Think about the whole metaverse thing back in 2021. What's really come out of that? Not much, but people made a shit ton of money speculating if they took profits, right? And eventually the metaverse might look like something. It might be there, you know. And the same thing with RWA. The whole RWA thing's, it's real. It's not going away. Is it all going to be done by 2025? No. But this might be the time to make the most money on RWA before it's actually a real thing by like 2027. You know what I mean? So speculate on things early, and that's going to bode well. Let's go down and hear from Wood, and then I know Clutch and Evan are up here too, and Kova. Wood's been waiting though. What's going on, man?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Not much. I mean, I was just thinking, you know, what Mar and Mutasko was talking about, how, like, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're in the top 100 assets, like, in the world. Like, you look at the list online, they're up there, like, in the top 10, top 100, and I'm just thinking, like, there's got to be more cryptos coming that are going to eventually get way up there, too, I'm pretty sure, by market cap, and how, like, you know, crypto on the blockchain or block DAG, it's coming more and more. You know, it'll be everywhere, or, you know, where you can't even ignore it. Like, the gas station next to my apartment has the Bitcoin ATM in there, where you can, like, you know, the ATM has, like, you can trade Bitcoin on it pretty much. And I'm like, when people are talking negatively about Bitcoin, and I'm like, how can you be negative about it when it's, you know, above 90% of stocks or whatever, and how it's just a place where money is. And, like, I'm the only one, I think, in my friends and family who, you know, don't even, like, is into crypto. And I'm trying to, like, talk to my mom and my dad and stuff, like, hey, you should buy Caspa, or you should give me money to buy Caspa for you. But, you know, they don't have anything to spare. And I'm doing, you know, what I think you talked about before, Zach, where it's just like eating top ramen, saving as much as I can, pulling money out of my 401k to put into crypto, you know, and pay my bills, just riding the line so I can pay all my stuff. And then, you know, this bull run, make a good amount of money, reinvest that, and, you know, go from there.
100%, man. It's something we talk about all the time. Like, you know, making the sacrifices now to live a much better life, you know, 5-10 years down the line. It's so much easier said than done, right? Because people want everything right now, you know, and we live in that kind of society, I think, where, you know, instant gratification, right? But it's amazing.
Oh yeah, I get that really hard. It sucks. I'm like, oh, I need to trade into this, and I can't. I have to stop myself every time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing, right? Like, over trading can definitely get you wrecked. It's like, once you find your high conviction plays, sometimes it's best just to DCA into that over time, right? And you know, because that's definitely something that hurt me back when I first started. It's like I wanted to chase every green candle and chase every fast horse. And again, it kind of speaks to that, you know, trying to make everything happen overnight rather than playing the long game a little bit. But yeah, I remember early on, man, making the sacrifices like that, and still doing that today. But when I first started, man, I had just a, you know, job that was paying me right around $50K a year. I was in debt, but I was still able to muster up like saving $6,000 because I was living off chicken and rice and peanut butter and not going out and living well below my means. And I still remember those sacrifices, making that, you know, 6-8 months of just locking in, and I'll, you know, it's a necessary thing. You know, everybody has to kind of do it. If you're serious about it, you make those sacrifices, you know. Clutch, you got your hand up. What's up, bro?
Damn, bro, I'm just pretty shocked how wealthy you were. You had peanut butter? Man, times must have been good for you, bro. No, but and just to answer his question, the reason why people still think Bitcoin's a Ponzi is because the top 10 holders hold over three-quarters of the whole supply. So until that actually gets fixed, Bitcoin is a Ponzi just because we love it. It's our Ponzi, right? But Ponzi-nomics are the world's economy. So we just got to roll with it. I got summoned up here because I heard credit needs to be given when credit is due to Alex Becker. I am the credit bureau. He sold all his bags and said, go home, it's over, last September. Why do I know that? We held a very big space letting everybody know this is not the end. We are going to pump. First time Bitcoin had been above all the daily EMAs, 2150 and the 200. So no, I will not give Alex Becker the freedom to just get, praised on here. He's a freaking degenerate just like us that's been right once or twice. The only thing I love about him that he does call out all you Cardano fanboys. If you want a boyfriend, a co-boyfriend with you and your girlfriend, that's on you. Buy Cardano. I am super bullish on self-choice. I'm super bullish on, just that road that one needs to walk on to really learn things. So, yes, I am TransUnion. The credit rating is a 580 for Alex Becker on the crypto space. Thank you.
No, you got to give Becker credit.
Bro, that was great.
You got to give Becker credit, bro. Dude, this dude talks about always, and I'm quoting, guys, it's recorder space. I didn't say this. He said, listen, you can listen to my plays, but, it's like putting your dick in a pencil sharpener. I'm not saying that. I'm quoting Alex Becker. Thank you very much. But so, you got to give him credit because he does call a lot of good shit. Even in his last video, he's like, these are all the plays I called, and they're all up 10x. What are you're going to deny that shit? Come on.
Bro, come on. You can't be this brand new, right? When I get an alpha call DM to me, I take a screenshot at a specific market cap, I ape, and then I go push it to all my followers, and the market cap's already more. Don't fall for those Ponzi-nomics. Again, I love them. I just need to be early. You don't go see the YouTube videos and then go ape. You got to go find where he's posting it. And I can tell you a lot of those little alpha spots. But again, he's a 600 credit. Just don't give him an 800. That's all I'm saying.
Appreciate you, Clutch. Let's get Matt back in here. He's got something for us.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't like Cardano, but the one thing I'll say about all that stuff is, for face value, look at what they say, and then look at what the coins are actually doing. Because I saw a little deal here in the white papers actually that says Cardano and Hedera are actually partnered up now. And Charles Hoskinson, or whatever his name is, said he hates Cardano, or he hates Hedera because it's controlled. So, I mean, the man himself says he hates Hedera, yet Cardano is now partnered with Hedera. So, yeah, I mean, what they say and what they're doing, two totally different things. And they can't give away all their secrets, and they got to keep the conversation going. Otherwise, it just gets boring. So, and you, even whoever was just speaking, gave Alex Becker a 580 credit score, and then you said 600. So he already went up 20 points on you just from mentioning that.
Yeah, just for me talking goes up. I mean, that's the influence,
I just like giving people credit by rounding up, but you're right. I should have rounded down to 575. The credit goes in quarters, so you're right. As I was, I apologize. Sorry, Zach, my apologies deeply.
Nah, man, that was funny. Kova's up here. He hasn't had a chance to take the mic. What's going on, Kova?
Not much, man. Good Monday for everybody. Glad everybody's made it in here. I just jumped up here because I was kind of like the first ear that Mar jumped into after listening to that space. So I got a lot more of those clowns than you guys did. And I'd like to jump up here and just let you guys know that you guys do a good job of putting out information. Mar, he puts out information. I talk to him on the side, and he sends me reading material to show that something's kind of valid, kind of prove his point. And I know Matosco, not personally, but I know of him since I first started in crypto back in January, February, and he's always supplemented his point of views with actual factual information. And those are the people that I look for. You know, I haven't been in crypto very long, and or any financial thing. I'm part of the military, and my expertise is how to kick in doors and shoot people in the face. That's what I'm really good at. I've shifted pretty much. Hey man, somebody's got to do it. Keep your little ass safe, right? But my time's passed on that. There's younger people that are doing that now, so I'm shifting over to something else, and this is it. And what I'm trying to say is that I'm not easily swayed without information. So if people are going into a space, even if the dude's drawing in 2,000 people, that particular person that you guys talking about, if he's not posting or giving factual information along with what he's saying, he's just a clown or a puppet that somebody pulled a string on, and he's just regurgitating whatever he's been doing over and over again. I see through the bullshit. Been around long enough to be able to, and I think a lot of the younger people that are in here, they know too. They're not going to be swayed by somebody like that, and that's why they're here. I think that maybe a good portion of those 2,000 people are just in there to validate what they already know, that people like those guys are dumb or freaking just shady. Honestly, I think it's just shady. I think if you just flat out ask them, hey, honestly, do you own any crypto? They'll dance around the question, deny it. And I mean, if they say yes, they already kind of disprove themselves. They're trying to say that something's not valid or whatever. You think Gary Gensler does not own crypto? He'll knock it left and right, but you think he really does not own any? Yeah, bullshit. He's not going to miss the train on it. Even if it's just in case. I'm sure he's put money into it. So I jump up here because if there is people that are kind of new to this and they're learning and trying to find their place in here, just do your research, man. Everything Zach says, everything that Paige says, everything that Mars says, everything that Matosco says, listen to it and then do your own fact checking. You know, it's a good thing. And then it lets you find those people that you need to follow. Okay. If you do that a number of times, you're like, okay, that person's cool. And then from that, you see who they're following and then find more connections. You know, there's a couple of new gentlemen that I've met over the weekend. They got their own project and I met them through Mar. And it's because I met Mar and Mar's like, hey, check this out, read this, read that. And then, you know, he makes a couple calls and then they come through and I'm like, holy shit. You know, if you've been in the space, you know, Mars talked about Caspa before he got mad at them. And he's only mad at them because he expects better from them. Because he's seen the information on them and everything. But you go back months and months and months ago, he's like, Caspa. And Caspa's just been continuously moving up. And there's a couple other projects. I'm not going to go into them that he's talked about and they came through. And it's not like he's like in the circle and talking to or, you know, he's part of the project. No, he's an outsider that does his research and asks the right questions. And when they don't answer those questions, he gets a little about him. It's like, okay, these guys are not answering these basic questions that everybody else is really saying, so watch out for them. So he's developed his process. I'm developing my process. Others in here have their process as well. So just kind of listen around, pay attention, do your research, develop your process. That way, you can't be swayed by dumbasses that get 2,000 followers for whatever reason. I don't know. I didn't jump into that space. He did come over and tell me what they were talking about, and automatically I'm like, you know, anybody that just completely says that blockchain is dumb or whatever, why do I even have to listen to them? But I guess, you know, to Matosco's point, you do go in and listen to them just to kind of see what they're doing or whatever, just to kind of educate yourself on the idiots that are out there and make sure that see what the other side is up to. Because honestly, at this point, I think they are just trying to keep the market down to get themselves and other people in so they could rake in the benefits of people's doubts. So just watch out. I'm not going to tell you do one thing or the other. Just do your research. Do your research and do your research. All right. That's all I got to say, guys. Good Monday. Look forward to the rest of the week with you guys, and see you around.
Appreciate you, Kova. Definitely good insights too. I think that's a really good point that we often should reiterate. Make it your process. I really like the way you kind of position that. Like, form your own thesis. Like, listen to a lot of people, and then let that kind of form your approach at this. I think that's really important. And to Matasko's point, what he does, you don't have to learn from people in terms of what to do. You could learn what not to do too. And I think that's why, or ways not to think, ways how to think and ways not to think. I think that's a really good point. Overall, it's very easy, and I hate to say it, but most people let other people do the thinking for them. I mean, I think about politics all the time, but even when it comes to investing in money, it's like you would think if your money's on the line, like, you wouldn't want other people to do the thinking for you, but people are lazy. And it baffles my mind, but people will let others, make the decisions for them. And I think that's just outrageous. It's crazy. Take in a bunch of information and form your own thesis, form your own idea, form your own strategy, your own profit taking strategy, your own process, as you mentioned, in terms of your research. That's a very good point overall. Just to kind of, from a macro standpoint, when you're building out your portfolio, do it your way. Listen to a lot of people, come into these spaces, learn how we all do it, and form your own kind of a general way to do it. Just as a sidebar today, I think we'll shut it down at 11 today. I just recently I was supposed to have a call after at noon, but the person I'm supposed to meet with, who I really want to meet with here, coming out of the Token 2049 conference, can only meet at 11:30. So I really want to get on that call. So we'll close it down today at 11, just so you guys know, in a little bit here, a few minutes, and we'll be back tomorrow, of course. But I see Ken Dupe is up here with the hand up. What's up, man?
Hi, Zach. Good morning, everybody. Just got home from work. Back in Masonry, by the way. Meme coin's been treating me pretty badly lately, but I guess it's the same for everyone. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to add a quick comment on that doing the thinking yourself. Like, in the extension of that, like, it's okay just to jump in the car, jump in the bus, or whatever. Like, maybe bus is a bad reference in terms of. But anyway, but take the wheel, guys. There's so many opportunities here, and people are really welcoming new minds who wants to take initiative in these types of spaces. Like, you can really have a big influence if you join a meme coin in a low market cap and you have some good ideas and you have some drive. It's fairly easy to establish something really nice, actually, guys, that creates some value. And I think that's my approach in a way to using communities and stuff like that. And it's been working. I mean, it's not like I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm working in Masonry again. But so I'm not going to say it's not financial advice, but I think it brings a lot of fun to it, and it's given me some valuable insight through the past 6 months. I've been really active. So yeah. It's just want to encourage you guys to come up and share your thoughts and ideas.
That's good stuff, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's it's going to be fun here, guys. I think we're getting ready for the meat of this bull run. Q4 starting tomorrow. All indications are we've got a lot of positive catalyst here ahead of us over these next 6 to 8 months. With interest rate cuts, with the election coming up, and more clarity in the overall markets. The only thing we can go off of is history, right? Until history fails us, the trend is your friend, right? And if we look at all the trends from, whether we're looking at, the 4-year cycle or election years or, monthly returns and which quarters are bullish and where we are in terms of, the macro environment with interest rate cuts and things like that, things look really good for us. So I think, somebody said it earlier, I think it might have been Matt. This is really the time, right now, if you have not already, to make sure you're well positioned. And if you're not, how can you get yourself in position to get more of an asset or more of a sector, get more money in a sector than you have right now, and making the sacrifices, taking on an extra job. Instead of watching 3 hours of Netflix at night after work, do 3 hours of research, right? It's just there's certain things where, like, one thing I hate is people always say, "Well, oh, I don't have enough time," Make time. Make time. You know, I'm sure we all waste time on some level, on something, whether it's scrolling on TikTok or Netflix. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at this, but I couldn't tell you the latest Netflix show out. I couldn't tell you which movies are being aired right now. I don't know. Like, this is all I do. This is what I do. If I'm not spending time with family or friends, like, this is my life. This is this. So if you're serious about this, take it serious. Put the extra time in right now, because if we're right and this thing is getting ready to skyrocket here, at least in the relatively short term, I think you're going to be happy that you put the extra hours in now, and had yourself prepared to really take full advantage of this if it plays out how we think it should and could. So, with that, I'll let Ken jump in here real quick, something there, and then we'll close out the space here in just a couple minutes. Apologies, we usually take this all the way to 11:30, but I really want to get on this call with this guy. It was supposed to be at noon, but we'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 to 11:30. Ken Dupe, go ahead, man.
100%, Zach. Thank you. I'll make it really quick, but it's all a matter of priorities, really. So you can take a path that you like, but you really gotta stick to the path. If you want to have success, of course, we all have these needs in life. We all need to have a roof over our head. We need to have food on the table, right? And that's why I'm working. But yeah, create time beside it. Take out 2 hours of your gaming. Stop watching Netflix for 2 hours. Like, take out 2 hours a day, once a day. It's an old Latin, QDS, means once a day in Latin. It's an old philosophy that if you do it, there's been a so you all know it. If you do something 10 minutes a day, you're better than 99.90% of the population in that specific topic, and so on. Right? Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks for the space.
100%, bro. That's what it's all about. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for a great space, and we'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and October starts tomorrow, October 1st. So we'll see how this market plays out. Appreciate you guys as always for being in here. Appreciate everybody who's listening live on YouTube and X right now as well. Yeah, crypto's about to go bonkers. That's what I think. So have a great day, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. See you guys. Almost. Okay. Can I just leave this open?
Hey, what's up? Zach. Hey. What's up? I just called Tony to say I'm gonna after I finish up with stuff over there, he started work on my desk. Oh, okay. Also, can you do something for it's I forgot to turn my broadcast off, my actual stream. If you it's on my monitor screen, it'll say like end broadcast top right hand corner. Just click that and it should end it. I'll see on YouTube if it ends. You'll be on the screen for a second. Who cares?
Wait, is that on your
It's on the monitor, like on the screen to the left, the big screen.
end stream?
It should be like the StreamYard things that there should be like a thing that says end broadcast, like top left or top right.
Yeah, it says end stream.
End stream, yeah. Just hit that. There's still some people